Well, that's good because it's top down time. We're live.
Yeah,
Top down time.
Top down time.
TDT.
TDT.
He was very intense on that.
Yeah, that's the call out. What?
Yep.
What? TDT. That's when you're driving by some people who are also top down listeners, and you just hang out the window. TDT, and then they're like TDT. That's the call.
Yeah.
Right now we're making it. That's the call.
Sounds
Watch
good.
that be like slang for like a drug.
Probably.
Yeah.
TRG apparently is like a gang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when
your gang, you run it.
No, as in like I think it was like some gang in Florida, and people were telling us that when we made the group, and we're like,
Fight us.
okay, we had no idea. We kind of already did everything. We kind of already made the channel and been posting.
Oh man.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in contact with them?
The gang? No. Why would I contact the gang?
Yeah, you should
I don't
really
know,
contact
maybe
their
they
PR
were like-
representative for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe they were sitting on like a
Excuse me.
sweet Twitter handle, and you were like, "Yo, we need TRG. Let's get it."
Oh man.
Excuse me, Mr. Gang Leader. Do you mind? I know your social media team is very top notch, but could you please hand us the accounts?
And they were like, $1 million. We're gonna sit on this account. $1 million.
Oh God, you joke, but that shit happens all the time, though.
Oh yeah. You remember when Netflix came out, or they tried to come out with Quickster?
Yep.
Excuse me?
That was the video game.
Oh,
side
right.
that they were trying to launch through Netflix. I believe it was called Quickster. It was like it was like QWIK or something like that.
Yeah, something
Anyways,
like that.
I remember somebody was sitting on the @Quickster Twitter handle, and the display pic was just like Elmo smoking a blunt, and they were like, "I'm not moving until $1 million," or it was like $10 million. Let's go, Netflix. Here we go.
Respect the hustle, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't think anything happened because nothing really happened with Quickster. They canceled that pretty quick, and I don't remember why.
Yeah.
But that never
Probably because they
became
realized it
a
was
thing.
not viable. Because I think they looked at how GameFly was doing. They're like, oh, they're doing pretty bad. Maybe we don't need to do this.
Yeah, I think it was probably also around the time where they're like, well, we're moving to all streaming, so why would we do anything physical?
Don't they still do physical in the US though?
I don't know. It seems like it would be hard to even get into that program.
Brr.
Yeah, I don't know either. How you guys been? How's the last week going for you?
It's been all right. I feel like I'm putting all my time into working now to kind of like compensate for everything else that's going on. So I feel like I feel like really everything's just normal. It's just I can't go outside as often as I used to.
Right.
That's
Well,
really
you,
about
Paul,
it.
how's life?
Time is a human construct, man. It doesn't mean anything, you know?
That's
true.
deep. That's deep.
Every day is
That's
just the same day with a different title.
Yeah, and like who
That's
even
why the
decided
exact
that was the
same
name of
things
the
happen
titles?
every time.
Yeah. I haven't seen outside these walls in what feels like years. Feels like years. It's been 3 days.
They simply adopted isolation. I was born into it.
Pretty much.
I will say March. I feel like March was the longest month ever.
I
Oh, March
still
ended?
feel like it's March. Yeah, exactly.
To that end, I was kind of glad that there was basically no April Fool's jokes online.
Oh, I
I
missed
think there
it.
was just like a weird unspoken agreement where people were like,
Yeah.
yeah maybe we should just go crazy on
Let's
this.
skip it this year. Although, because I feel like most people hate April Fools, except for like random
Companies.
brands. Yeah, random companies like social PR team is like, let's make something. And I feel like, yeah, there was like an unwritten thing of just like, let's just no, it's not worth.
Did you see the one that was going around of like a DuckTales and Quackshot reboot game that was done in like a super nice art style? And they were like, yeah, no, we actually didn't. We posted this on April Fool's just to show what could have been. Like Disney shot us down.
Huh.
And now people are like calling for like, yeah, can you please actually make this? Because this looked really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I hadn't seen that. I saw no April Fool's stuff. That's what I was saying. I was kind of glad for that.
Apparently Capcom did an in-browser fucking puzzle game called Neko something or whatever, and it was the Street Fighter characters as cats, and it was a match 3 Bejeweled like. And I missed it!
Oh, shit. That sounds amazing, and I would have played that.
I missed it! I heard about it today.
I mean, I'm all for like when they actually like kind of make something kind of fun and funny. When it's things doing like here's some fake news, and then the next day it's like, oh, we're just kidding. We're not coming out with StarCraft Ghost 2 or whatever.
One of the sites I look at did a fake news thing of Last of Us comes out exclusively to PC just to piss off PlayStation fans. It was pretty funny.
Sure, yeah. That sounds like a hard drive tweet.
Kind of does, actually.
Yeah, I could see that being a tweet from them.
No.
Which is a good Twitter account. But hey, speaking of hard drives, this is the Top Down Perspective. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And John, why don't you tell us about your hard drive?
Okay, so I've got like an 8 terabyte in here, and I've been playing Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Yeah, that's cool. You went 8 terabytes, you say?
Yeah, actually.
Nice. That's 4 times what I've got.
Well, that's one of them. I've got like 3 in here actually. So.
Oh wow.
Let's see here. Local disk. So my solid state is 500 gigs. I've got a max storage that's 8 terabytes, and then I got an etc. one that's 2 terabytes.
Okay, well, if you guys are done measuring your hard drives, maybe you can.
What do you mean, you guys? You're the one who literally brought it back.
I'm trying to talk about Animal Crossing. I'm just trying to talk about Animal Crossing. There's that rabbit, and I want to know what you think of the rabbit.
No, fuck that rabbit. Not literally though, because he's
Zipper
awful.
T rabbit. He's hiding eggs everywhere. It's nonstop.
He can't stop. It's all he knows.
I saw a video where. So I guess if you go into the camera app in Animal Crossing,
yeah,
you can like move out of frame your character. So they did that near the rabbit, and I guess when you break line of sight with the rabbit, he breaks character. Like he like calms down and like sighs, like oh thank God. And I think that's the funniest thing in the world.
I'm glad he's sick of his own shit.
Yeah, like he's literally like, oh God, he's back. Start dancing again. Like, who is forcing him to dance? It's probably Tom Nook, right? The villain of the universe.
It's probably Tom Nook.
Yeah, it's definitely Tom Nook. Yeah, that guy. Jeez. I just hope Zipper T Rabbit is not secretly Mr. Rossetti, and this is his new gig.
Well, Rossetti runs the helicopter thing, the rescue service.
Oh, I've never used that.
Yeah, like barely anyone has. So like that's why you'll probably never see Rossetti. But if you look at the helicopter, it's wearing his helmet.
I did not.
The logo on the rescue service app.
Okay. Oh, good to know. That's great. Yeah, I feel like most people haven't used it because most people who aren't time traveling don't have access to terraforming yet, so there's no way to trap yourself.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Unless like
how's your last week in Animal Crossing life been, John?
It's been all right. I just got the call that KK Slider's going to come visit. So I got my island to a 3-star rating. And then they were like, hey, you got a lot of trees. You should probably cut some down. So I went to start cutting them down, and then suddenly I had a 2-star rating. So now I'm very confused with the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a 1-star, so you're doing better than I am.
Yeah, I don't even think you can go higher than 1 until you have like 7 or 8 people in your island.
I think I have 7. I think. But
yeah, I hit 8 today, and that's when my rating jumped from 1 to 3.
Yo, when did KK Slider make it so big that like I have to like pretty up my island? That dude used to play guitar on the side of like a train station, man. I remember that's where he started.
He hit it big, dude. Like he finally hit it big.
He did. I'm buying all his albums every day. I'm buying a new album, trying to collect them all. Because a high-end stereo fell out of a tree for me.
Nice.
Yep. But what do you think of the rabbit? It's very, very divisive online.
My real issue is that like literally everything you do day to day is now just kind of hindered by him
Right.
because I can't like I'm out of iron nuggets and then I'll go hit rocks to get more and then instead I get eggs.
Right. But hey, surprise, happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. I kind of
really
like
weird.
the like extra carrot on a stick.
I mean, like
of it, like it's something new to do.
I like that part about it, but the only thing that kind of bums me out about it is that like none of the furniture is all that appealing.
Yeah, that's my big thing is everything I'm making, it's like I never want this in my house. Like
I feel like at this point I'm really just getting it all because it's like, oh, it's eggs, and that's like a meme for me. So now I actually have to make sure I have all the egg stuff. Like that's pretty much my drive on it right now. But other than that, like I do like the fact that more balloons are showing up, period. Because that means it's also sending in like the regular balloons that actually have stuff I care about. But it's really annoying just to be like, oh, hey, a balloon. Oh, it's another damn egg. Just repeating that over and over again.
Yeah, true. I do like the new season though. Got some new bugs and fish to find.
Yeah. It is nice to have a lot
I
more
like the cherry blossoms in the trees. That's always nice and pretty.
Yep.
And I don't still having quite a good time with it. Did you strike big with turnips this week?
I did not have enough money to get in too far on the stock market, but I got out of it with about 800,000 bells, so I did all right for what I had. So now I'm actually keeping money in my bank account to get ready for this week on turnips. So I will not be caught off guard this time.
Okay.
I'm a little bummed out about how the new month has basically changed the spider economy because it's harder to spawn tarantulas now because they added water beetles or water bugs, and you can't scare those away like you can any other bug. So if you're trying to force tarantula islands, you can't as well anymore.
Oh, that's good to know. I was actually hoping to do that because Flick is on my island today.
Yeah, if you get Bamboo Island, you can force a tarantula island, but anything with a pond will have water beetles in them instead. They're worth 2,000 bells, so with Flick they'll be 3,000. But
nice.
Yeah, but
I don't think I've even seen Bamboo Island. I've gotten pretty bad luck with my islands.
You don't even have any bamboo?
I do because my girlfriend has had way better luck with islands, but I've gone to like 5 or 6, and they're always just the worst.
Okay, I was gonna say if you need bamboo, I have some bamboo shoots I can give you.
I don't have anything to do with bamboo.
Oh,
what do you do with bamboo?
It's just another material essentially.
Yeah. Well, I do have access to that. I don't have anything to put it towards.
Gotcha. All right, figured out offer.
Thank you, though. Yes, I appreciate the sentiment. I struck big with turnips this last week. I got 1.6 million.
Damn! So even double what I had. How many turnips did you get before you did that?
I bought. I want to say it was either like 800 or 1,500. I want to say that was 1,500 turnips worth. Something like that.
How much were your turnips to buy?
98. And I sold them for 478, I think.
That's
I don't know, I'm just following like the reset era thread. So whenever someone posts a big number, I just went to their place.
Gotcha. Apparently there's an app people are using now where it's just like it'll divvy out the code to join their island. It's the guys that are doing crowd control are running it. So you can like put your info in the turnip price and then people can like post on Twitter like with that link and it'll automatically give them the code when there's like X amount of people available.
Oh, interesting. What is crowd control?
Crowd control is a system that works where people on Twitch can control your game using coins. So like you could be playing Mario 3 and then they're like, all right, I want to spawn in like the evil sun to try to kill you. Or like, I want to give you a power up. They work for about, I think 2 to 3 dozen games right now. And they're adding more.
Okay.
So that's what crowd control is. So they've been doing a bunch of cool stuff, honestly, on Twitch.
I will say though, when you do go online to like a randos place who just kind of puts their code out there, the one I did for turnips was really, they handled it pretty well because they only invited in like 4 people at a time, kicked them all at once. But early last week, I just decided to go to a random person's on the forums just to like go to a new island and see something new.
Yeah.
And for like a solid 10 minutes, my character couldn't move. So many people were just coming and going. That is a miserable experience.
Try streaming the game. That
Right.
was a thing.
Yeah, I was assuming you were going to probably run into something like that. To the point of is like it's impossible without like really locking down and putting more effort into this than it should be.
Yeah.
But having to like watch the cutscene of someone's here and then the little airplane thing for like I think it's like almost 2 minutes long. It is
It
absolutely
depends on the strength of
insane.
your internet connection, but yeah, it's way too long.
Yeah, it's
And then here's the kicker: if anyone disconnects during all that, it will rewind the save.
yes, yeah, I did know
Which
that.
has happened, which sucks.
It's also it does something similar. If I take the Switch out of the dock, that counts as a disconnect.
Yeah, because
Because-
when you take the Switch out of the dock, you've turned off your internet for a second.
Yeah, or like it's switching from like my wired to my wireless.
Yeah,
that's
had that
annoying as
issue.
well.
Yeah, this game's got a lot of weird quirks. Honestly,
Yep, Nintendo.
yeah, Nintendo. It's really sad that we're at a point where that's anytime we're like, oh, we're super excited for this game, Nintendo.
Yep,
It
I
feels
agree
like this always
for sure.
happens. Anyways, that's actually all I've been playing. So,
All right, Paul, what have you been playing?
It's been kind of an off week. So Control DLC came out this last week. Actually, last week, like 7 days ago. I played it after the show last week, and it's very, very good. The Foundation, this is the first of the 2 that they've announced that are coming out as part of the season pass for $25 or whatever. I think you can buy them separately for 15 each though. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about without getting into like some spoilery stuff. I know Sean's going to play it, so I won't. This is a substantial like expansion though. There is a new, not item, but like a new thing you can do, like a new power they give you. They give you a new gun thing as well to help you traverse the new area. There's a new area, and like there's a couple side things and like a main line mission and all that sort of stuff. So it is definitely worth the $15. It's probably worth the $25 by itself, like as long as the next thing is decent.
Well, the next thing ties into Alan Wake, so like I'm already sold. Does not matter. Like they're gonna continue that
it's
story.
just a freebie at this point for you.
Like
pretty
yeah,
much.
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will a question. How long is this one?
I think I spent about 6 hours in it. I did literally everything.
Nice.
I 100%ed it.
Cool.
So
Cool. Are there tons of little like codex entries, little papers to find?
there's so many. There's so much
good.
more lore in it. There's a couple like very cool. What would you call them? Like things that you have to cleanse or whatever. So like there's new like little
objects of power. Is that what they were called?
There's a couple like new objects of power with like their own set pieces aside from the main story mission. So there's like substantial. It's basically like making the game longer. Like it's very good. It's very, very.
It's so good.
Yep.
That's so good. That game is so good.
That game is so good. I got a little teased by it because when I was done, I was just like, but I want more. Like I got addicted again. What am I gonna play? So I just went back into the Division and just shot a bunch of stuff for a few more hours, basically. Man, that Control is so good, and there's like no other games like it out right now, and it's infuriating. It just plays so nice.
I'm looking forward to it. Once I wrap up a couple of the other single player stuff, I am looking forward to jumping into that.
Also, they released it on GeForce Now, so people with systems that are lacking, or if you don't have a ray tracing card like I don't, you can go on that and play it complete with the new lighting effects and the ray
it'll
tracing
look nicer.
stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Because like, why not?
It runs perfectly fine too. There was basically no input lag that I could detect.
Actually, though, I only have the free GeForce Now, so would I get any of the ray tracing stuff or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're just
'cause I thought
limited to
some
an
of the-
hour. Oh, wait. The ray tracing, you're right. It is limited to premium.
I thought some of the graphical stuff was also gated away from.
Specifically the ray tracing. Yeah.
Darn, I'll just have to use my own hardware.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Like it's 2019 or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, if you're into Control, you need to get it. Like, it's basically an instant buy. If you're not into Control, then like you don't care, obviously. But like it's just more of that game, and it's so good. So I know Sean, you'll be into it. I think.
I'm excited. I'm just waiting for some time.
And you and I played some Bleeding Edge. That was fun.
Yep.
That was last week.
We did really well. I think we won all of our games except for
two.
Two? I remember there was one where we only lost by like 50 points. And, and
they
these
were
games,
all
you
hard.
get like 600.
They were all hard-fought games, basically.
Yep. It was definitely much better without randoms. For sure. But I think most interestingly is we did a crossplay. I was on the Xbox and you guys were on the PC.
On PC, yep.
And it just worked flawlessly. And it was almost like I was just playing with someone on Xbox. Like that was super cool.
Yep. Worked perfectly good. So it's unfortunate that game is probably not going to go anywhere because that is not getting any talk. It's getting no viewership basically at all on Twitch. That thing's probably just going to die.
Yeah, I don't see people talking about it much.
And honestly,
it kind of just reminds me of like Paladins. Like it's another Overwatch clone that isn't doing much.
Paladins at least updated.
I completely forgot about that.
This hasn't been updated yet. Like
I'm assuming this will get updates. Like I'm sure because Microsoft is helping fund it, they definitely have a roadmap that if they were on their own, maybe they couldn't support it. But I bet they got a good chunk of cash up front from Microsoft. So
yeah, I'm hoping they support it pretty good. This is the type of game I think you need like a monthly or every 2 months update with more stuff. Mainly because there's not enough in it currently. There's 5 maps. There's like 3, 6, 11 heroes total.
I think that's fine. I think 11 heroes is a good amount. I mean, look at Apex launched with what, 8 characters?
I guess.
I don't know how much
Apex,
Overwatch launched with.
that Overwatch launched with probably like 15, wasn't it?
Yeah, Overwatch.
It was definitely not that much. Not 15. It was 3 of each, and they had 4 classes, so there would have been 12, right? Or no, 3 different and 4 in each of them. So yeah, 12.
There was easily 15 to 20, easily.
At the beginning, I don't think so.
I'm 100% sure.
I'm on it.
No way.
It had to have been.
Because now they have like 100.
They have like 30 something now, right?
The game launched with 21 characters, with 11 more added post-release.
Easily.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, Bleeding Edge is still good. But it's probably going to die. I hope it doesn't.
I wish that game was faster. I wish everything in that game was faster.
That thing only gets like 500 people tops watching it on Twitch at any point. That's like real not good for a competitive game.
Right. Well, I don't even know if it would be that interesting to watch because it's like you watch 5 characters run at each other and then they just kind of like mash until 2 are alive.
I think it's much better to watch than Overwatch. That thing's unwatchable. And people watch Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Overwatch League, so I guess I can't really say.
Yeah, I don't either.
If I was to pick one of the 2 to watch, I'd probably prefer to watch Overwatch.
Oh, but crazy.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's all I've been doing though.
All right, I've been playing a few things outside of Animal Crossing. I'm continuing with Doom Eternal.
Yep. How far are you?
How are you finding it so far?
I'm fine. I knocked it down to easy. That helped a lot because those fights were just getting so long.
They're very long.
And even now they're still somewhat long. But I'm just because I don't have to try as hard. It's a lot nicer. I don't have to like super stress about the fights.
Sure.
I believe I'm a little over halfway. I'm on Mars.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
The boss before Mars, is it with the axe, the Marauder? Is that his name?
That's not a boss. That's a dude. That's just a normal dude.
Well, when you first fight him, it's a boss.
Okay.
So the guy that you have to like shoot at the exact moment when he like flashes green.
That's not a boss. That's just a hard enemy.
Okay, well they present it basically like a boss when you first do it because you're almost doing.
I thought they were just doing like whenever your first time seeing an enemy, they give you like the cutscene.
It's pretty much it's a harder enemy to be fair. It's more like a mini boss if anything. But yeah, because the bosses are like you'll know a boss for sure when you face one, right?
Anyway, that sucks. That guy, I hate that guy. Holy smokes, that fight
Yep.
almost made me not want to play the game anymore. I so had no fun with that. Jesus,
You're gonna
that was
have
rough.
fun.
No, and I've come across him further on. Like,
Yeah.
holy, every time he
They
shows
suck.
up, it's like I'm just like I'm like upset almost. Like I
And
hate.
it's not fun because it completely kills the flow of combat. It's not even that he's hard, because he is. Like, he's harder for sure. But you have to wait for a certain time and have to keep a specific distance. It just sucks.
Right, yeah. So it's like
yeah.
in Doom Eternal, they kind of want you always moving. There's 100 enemies on screen, all shooting at you, so you should be constantly moving, constantly fighting. And then this guy shows up where you need to like wait to do a very specific counter attack on him from a very specific distance. Like,
Yeah.
it completely upsets the flow.
Yeah.
I have encountered him in other fights after that first one. The
Sure.
first one was definitely the worst, when he has like the spirit tiger or whatever it is. The thing
Oh yeah, he
attacking
can
you
just
as well. That
summon
was
a
pretty
fucking
annoying.
spirit dog. So dumb. What a dumb enemy.
Yo, I got an honest question for you guys. What's been the general consensus about this game now that's been out for a bit? Because I feel like so many people I've been listening to have been saying like they kind of missed the mark with this one. It lost what made Doom 2016 special. Is that the actual consensus, or is it just it's not meshing with just some people? That's it.
It's definitely not as special as 2016, but it is a it's like, I don't know. It's like Cranked and Cranked 2 or something. They like
Crank
had
2
to,
is awesome.
they had to
that's
up
actually amazing comparison.
they had to up the ante, but like Cranked 2 doesn't like make sense if you haven't done Cranked 1. You know? There like you need
I
the
think
ante
I might be that person.
for it to be upped first.
I don't think I've seen Crank 1, and I own Crank 2.
That's weird. That is super weird.
Because I think it was sold to me like, yo, Crank 2 is ridiculous. You need to see Crank 2. And then I must have gotten it like real cheap on DVD or something like that. Because that movie is dumb.
That movie is real dumb, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And like it's this game, or Doom is great. Like Doom Eternal is great, but Doom 2016 set the groundwork and is like the one, I think. It's just, if you liked that one, this is like a good follow-up is the answer, I think.
Yeah,
I've seen
keep going.
Limbeck says in the chat, like the consensus I've seen is that the game has completely split the fan base in two, and that's what it feels like I've been seeing everywhere.
For sure.
I've definitely been hearing a lot of like, it seems like it's a step down from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have really, I'm not on either side of that. I can't really, I played 2016 so split up that it doesn't really stick in my mind much. I'm fine with this. I just hate that one enemy. That's
sucks.
absolutely miserable.
Enemy sucks. Yep, for sure.
The super shotgun when I got the chain was very fun, especially with the chain's now on fire. So you basically just get shield every time I use it. That's really nice too.
Yep. And you just pull yourself around. It's like, oh, there's a secret up there. I think I'm supposed to, no, fuck it. Chain up to the enemy that's floating by it. Jump. Done.
I will say I'm getting a lot of the upgrades I don't care for at all. And I have like an abundance of these, basically like the currency to upgrade stuff. Like specifically the suit upgrades, are those the ones in like the circle?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
where they're split into like 5 categories.
Those suck.
Most of those I don't care for. Like I upgraded like the 3 things I wanted, and then it's like, well, how about you upgrade this other grenade? And it's like, no, I don't use the ice grenade. I'm good. Like
I don't use it either. Yep.
So it's like, yeah, and it's like, why don't you upgrade mantling faster? No, I haven't like felt climbing up a ledge that was slow in any way.
Yeah.
It's
but then you have so many of them, you're just like, sure, this, whatever.
Oh, for sure. Like I might as well, but
yeah,
like I already got what I wanted way early on. Also, the for your arsenal, where it lets you unlock like another like alt fire for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have a lot of those, and it's like, oh, I don't even know. Like, I guess I'll unlock the second one of this gun I barely ever use.
So is there something to be said about, because you're playing on easy, you don't have to use the arsenal? Because I had to use the whole arsenal, like for every enemy had a different thing.
I have to use a lot of the arsenal, but it's like I never need like both versions of a gun. You know what I mean?
I guess I have needed both versions of many of them.
Oh,
for some
okay.
of
Well,
them.
then maybe that is because
Like that first shotgun you start with sucks unless you have like one of the alt fires for it.
that's what I'm saying. Is that like one of them? Usually, I pick one like, oh, I love this. I can use, my shotgun can now is now a grenade launcher. That's awesome. And it's like, well, now you can also make it like an
And
auto
then
shotgun, and it's like, no, I'm good with the grenade launcher.
No man, grenade launcher for spiders, and then the auto shotty for hunters.
So I guess that's the thing is they want you to be like switching your gun like constantly,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not. And maybe that is an issue of the difficulty or why I was finding normal a little too hard, and I should have been doing that. But because I wasn't, or I was finding it to be too much, and it's another thing adding on to the combat being pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where it's just like I've got the way I like to fight. Now I
Yeah.
got an abundance of upgrades again. That's just
Do you have all
neither
the
here nor
guns
there.
unlocked by now?
Yeah, I just got the 9,000, and that's the last one, right?
The BFG, yeah.
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 That thing's fun. That thing is cool when you get to shoot it. It's pretty rare you get to shoot it, but that thing's cool when you get it.
I really like the chain gun. One of the alt modes is just like a bunch of chain guns. Like it splits up into like just this crazy turret mode.
Oh, the one that's turret. Yeah, that was in 2016. I definitely liked that one as well.
I love it so much.
That one's a lot of fun. Yep.
Turning one gun into 4 guns. It's real good.
Yeah, that one's cool for sure. All right, outside of that, I played a bit of Paper Beast. This is a PlayStation VR title. I don't like this game. So I played about 90 minutes of it. And I don't even really it is a weird game. So they seem to be doing some kind of there's like the game you're actually playing, which is you just kind of observing these paper beasts. And if you want to picture, they kind of look like skeletons of creatures. Like this one's kind of a dog, this one's kind of a giraffe, but they're made of like paper. So it'll be like a bundle of paper, or it'll look like a bunch of paper that went through a shredder, so it's all kind of like flowy. And a lot of the gameplay seems to be just like guiding these beasts to go in a certain way so that it'll kind of allow you to continue on. It's pretty obtuse in you having to figure out what to do. I got stuck constantly. It's also just really slow in the way to do it. Like, for example, I just got to chapter 4. At the end of chapter 3, the I say quote unquote puzzle because it's really so loose in that definition. I had to like fill up this pool with water so that I could like freeze it and get to a ledge that was high enough. But the way to fill up the pool was on the other side of the area. There was some like fountains of water, and the water was like spilling out, but it was spilling out in like all directions. And I needed to kind of funnel it to this one spot. So I had to guide this one paper creature around that when you're guiding it, it just like expels sand out of its stomach for some reason. So I had to guide it around and kind of create a moat system. And it's long and it's slow and it's tedious, and that's kind of the whole game so far. So I'm pretty much done with Paper Beast. What is super weird though is there's kind of a second level to this game that made me think of like Super Hot, where you start the game and they're like, and it's like a fake computer, and it's like, calibrating, auto update, blah 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 blah, and then there's just a blaring like J-pop song for like 3 minutes while just like weird like visualizers that you can play with because it's VR for I don't know what reason. And then all of a sudden you're in the desert with a paper giraffe thing, and now you start the game. And every now and then something will like the screen will like shift and like kind of static or whatever, and then big text will be like, "This is not a simulation." And I don't know what that means. Like it's just super out like what? And when you're on like the main menu, it's in like a computer program, like it's almost like the Matrix or something. Here's a weird one. I was doing a puzzle where I had to make a hill out of sand. And while that was happening, some weird like geometric black block, like triangle blocky thing showed up in the sky, and I guess cut a hole in the sky. So a bunch of numbers like polygonal numbers just fell out, and when they hit the ground, they turned into black goop. I don't know. Like, it is
Sounds
just
trippy at least.
it's trippy, but like it's too obtuse because I don't really get a point it's getting to, and if it's gonna get to a point, it's near the end of the game. It is taking forever to get there, and the gameplay is not progressing me fast enough through it that I care to do it. Like I said, I'm pretty much done with it. I don't know how long this game is. It's not on How Long to Beat. I don't think anyone's playing this game.
Yeah. This looked bad. I remember seeing a bit of it and just like, this looks not good, like fun at all.
I thought it looked pretty interesting. I remember it showing up at a few like live stream things that Sony had put on.
Yeah.
And I thought it had some kind of promise, like, oh, they're kind of going for something kind of unique and interesting with VR. I just don't care enough for it. Kind of quick side note on the PlayStation VR, when I sat down to play this, I thought to myself, I actually don't know anything about this game. Should I have my move controls? Like, what should I be standing up for this game? I don't know how to play this game. And I'm on the cross media bar, the PlayStation 4's home screen, and they even have like when you highlight over a game, you can press like, it's either like options or triangle for more info. And I was like, I wonder if they've kind of built it in similar to Steam, like it'll tell you what this game supports or what is it. No. So I just had to hope it was a sit-down controller game, because that's what I was set up to do. And this is just kind of like a general like VR thing of like, how is anyone supposed to know if it's a PlayStation Move game? You know what I mean? Like, just this is just kind of a weird like thought process I went through on the weekend, where I was like, I literally have no idea if I'm supposed to be like clearing up a space for this, because I don't know what this game is, and they are not telling me it in any way. I can also say PlayStation VR still likes to drift around, and it's not ideal. So that's still the case. But the whole time I was playing it, all I could think is, I could be playing Beat Saber right now.
Yeah, I could be playing anything else, really.
Yeah.
Never a good sign.
But I set up the headset. I got the headset on. I got everything lined up, and I was like, I could just be playing Beat Saber. Like, I'm this close to playing Beat Saber. Anyways, yeah, I don't recommend Paper Beast. Last game I'll talk about is Borderlands 3. I'm playing the new DLC. I think it's called Love, Guns, and Tentacles or something like that.
That sounds right.
Something like that. Yeah.
This DLC is really good. You're in like a what is that type of fiction with Cthulhu?
Cthulhu Mythos.
No, it has a name.
Refer to that.
H.P. Lovecraft? Like, what are you?
Lovecraft. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Lovecraftian. That's the word I was looking for. You're in like a Lovecraftian town. There's weird tentacles with eyeballs everywhere. There's the weird cult. I will say though, like the aesthetics, they look really cool. I love the visuals of the town. Every new enemy is a brand new enemy that can like warp in through portals, and they got weird tentacles, and they're all in like hoods and cloaks. They all look really great. I'm especially coming off of the last DLC, which was fine, but every enemy was like the same robot. Sometimes it was a robot that was on fire. Sometimes it was a small robot. Sometimes it was a robot with lightning powers, but they were all the same robot, like the loader bots. This one, they're varied. They're different creatures. It's really cool. You're going to like, I don't want to say haunted, but Lovecraftian libraries to find their joke on the Necronomicon. The writing is still bad because it's Borderlands.
Sure.
What can you expect? Every second joke is someone screaming, and then I stabbed them in the face. That's constant. Right. If you're hoping for a piece of DLC that didn't have Claptrap talking, that's not this one. I know
do those exist?
I don't think Claptrap was much in the last one, I think.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Maybe he was. I don't remember. Anyway, Claptrap is still in this one. Either way, though, I'm just loving the setting. I'm loving the music they kind of added there. Not the new characters. The new enemies, the whole kind of layout and the design of it. I'm having a lot of fun with this specific DLC. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's a good follow-up. I think I read like a Kotaku headline that was like, this has like the best boss fight in the game. So apparently it's a pretty good DLC. I'm looking forward to finishing up and going through all of that.
Cool.
And that's all I've been playing. So let's do some news.
All right.
You don't want to talk about Roundguard at all?
I do want to talk about Roundguard. Thank you.
Roundguard's great. It deserves
yeah.
talking.
When I go out of order of my list, I always forget what's on top. I did this with Plants vs. Zombies.
I knew. Yep.
I have been playing Roundguard. It is on Apple Arcade. It's also on Steam.
It's on Switch and PC. Yep.
Switch and PC. Okay. This is Peggle if it was a roguelike.
Yeah.
Oh, this game. Okay, yeah. I was curious.
Yeah, this game's pretty cool.
It's neat.
First off the bat, I don't like the way it looks. I'm just not a fan of the
Oh,
art
really?
style.
I thought it was cute, but yeah, I could see that.
That's a good start.
Yeah, not really a fan of how it looks.
Sure.
Moving on from that, I like the way it plays. You basically how it works is you get to pick a character class. I don't know if you get more than the 3 you start with, but the 3 is Knight, Rogue, and Mage. They all have a special ability that you can activate if you tap the left side of the screen. I'm obviously playing it on my phone. I'm playing the Apple Arcade version.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're like, for those who don't know what is
Peggle?
For those who don't know what Peggle is, it's pachinko. A little ball drops down and hits all the little bouncers on the way down to the bottom. But the thing that's going down is your character. So let's use the warrior for an example. That's what I'm playing at the moment. He goes down anytime he hits an enemy block or peg, I should say. You will do damage to that, and that will do damage to you. You can also hit potions and pots of gold and mana potions and stuff to get those back. You also will be able to get an unlock for the right side of the screen, so you can kind of have 2 abilities. Right now, I'm on a fantastic run, the best run of my life, where my left ability is basically a charge attack. So he launches himself towards the closest enemy. And then my right ability is anytime I break a pot for like a set period of time, I get a bit of health back. So I basically just kind of mashed those 2 at the start, and I can pretty much wipe out the whole screen in like 2 drops. My build is really good right now.
Cool.
But you get different abilities. The first time I played the warrior, he had like a spin attack. The mage has this interesting one where there's 2 like insects going up and down on the left and right side. And when you tap her thing, she does lightning towards those. So anything in that line gets hit. The rogues was pretty useful. They get a second jump, which is really nice for like avoiding the spikes at the bottom. If you like really have to like hit that the cushion to get the free life and not take the damage, or if you need to kind of get underneath an obstacle to hit someone as opposed to breaking your way through it. That was a cool one too.
And I think it does more damage if you hit someone with the double jump, or maybe that was an item I got. I can't remember.
Maybe I don't recall that. So maybe it was an item. I only did 1 run with the rogue, so I'm not 100% sure. And you pick up loot, so you'll get better weapons, better armor, more trinkets, which are basically just like passive buffs. And at the same time, you're collecting gold and experience, so you are leveling up, so your HP gets bigger, your mana pool gets bigger. Just a real cool use of what is essentially the Peggle game, and I feel like no one has done anything with Peggle besides Peggle. So I just kind of want more Peggle-like games. That should totally be a thing. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to kind of riff off that, but they did a really cool job with it. So I would really recommend it. If you like Peggle, this is like a really good version of it. And you're probably wondering, does it still play Ode to Joy when you finish a stage?
Mm-hmm.
And technically, no, it doesn't. But it plays kind of a like a remix of it, where like the first like 4 notes are the same notes as Ode to Joy, and then it goes into its own song. So they definitely know what they're doing here, and I really appreciate them for that.
So Rasserman's asking how much luck dependent is the game compared to Peggle. I would say less, because you can actually, it's more luck dependent on what items you have, and you can kind of like, depending on your character, manipulate that luck accordingly, depending on your loadout too.
I want to say, there's definitely aspects where you have more of a say. Like, for example, with the rogue, you get that second jump. That's super useful. Or with my guy who can charge, you can kind of move yourself around and whatnot. Your abilities definitely do help out.
The warrior spin lets you go through things too. Like you can,
there is stuff However, there has definitely been so many times where I'm doing a run, and then for whatever reason, I just like bounced off 3 enemies and they all poisoned me at once, and I died in a second.
There is
and
that.
It's like I don't even know what happened there. But like I got
Yeah.
just like this was a fantastic run, and then I just got steamrolled from I don't know. So in that case, it's even worse than Peggle. So it kind of ends up being on an average about the same.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like I have more control than I did with Peggle for sure.
Yeah. That game's good.
Yes. Let's do some news.
All right.
All right. Okay. So Bethesda completely canceled their E3 press conference. I guess they were thinking that they were still going to probably do something, but they're just not going to do a digital thing this year at all. I wonder what they would have had anyway. Like, I guess Starfield?
Yep.
That's them, right?
Starfield and like something else for Elder Scrolls 6 at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, that says to me that they don't have anything for Elder Scrolls 6 or not enough to show, and they didn't want to piss people off. Otherwise, I think they would have showed something for that. Maybe that's just the pessimistic part of me just being like, they're not ready, so they're just scrapping it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, but only the campaign is like out or whatever on PS4 only?
Right. This kind of I put in quotes stealth dropped because that's what they were trying to do, but it like leaked like a day or two ahead of time. I even saw a full like playthrough of the game before it had even launched. Someone uploaded.
Great.
But yeah, this just popped out there.
So apparently it
There you go.
doesn't have the Spec Ops or multiplayer. It's only the campaign. Do you know this to be true?
I think I heard that. Yeah,
Wasn't this the same with the Modern Warfare 1 remaster?
that had the
That
multiplayer.
had
As
multiplayer.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
That was a full-on remake.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But anyways, if you're jonesing for that, it's coming out to other stuff at the end of the month. But you can get it now if you want it on PS4. This was big news for me. Rogue Legacy 2 is coming, apparently.
Yeah, well, this was technically announced like yesterday, and with all they tweeted was April 2nd, which made it think, okay, good, it's not a April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
And then they have a 10-second teaser or something, and some screenshots. Which cool. This seems like a no-brainer because Full Metal Fury's tanked for them.
Yeah.
And that game is underrated, I will say.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll play some Rogue
Why
Legacy
did that
too.
game do that bad? Was it just came out at a bad time? Because I never heard anything about it. Like it had no buzz.
That's why.
I was
Nobody
reading
talked
an
about it.
interview. Yeah, no one talked about it. I was reading an interview back of I forgot what site it was, but they were interviewing the developers and they were talking similar to kind of like, they didn't market it well. All the cool stuff was kind of hidden away and they didn't talk about it. Kind of if you think of like Super Mario 3D Land has that whole second like game after you beat it and then Nintendo didn't let people talk about it. They had something kind of similar to like that because that thing goes crazy and whatnot. And they just kept it all hidden and they were hoping it would be a fun surprise, but just kind of no one really got to that stuff. So they think they just marketed it really poorly.
I like the new teaser images also. Like, I like the style. It's somehow more and less cartoony at the same time than the original, which is interesting.
I was going to say the backgrounds look less cartoony. The characters still look cartoony.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of
definitely more like of a hand-drawn look for sure. But obviously they're work in progress, so we'll see what it looks like when it's out for sure. So that's exciting. On the good news train before we kind of crash it into a mountainside, if you like Dark Souls games like I do, a new studio made up of ex-Call of Duty, Diablo, and Halo developers apparently are making a new game under Cold Light Symmetry, and the game is called Mortal Shell. There's a little bit of a teaser of it, like a trailer, and apparently it's coming out in Q3 of this year, which scares me because this year hasn't been going well for game releases so far.
No.
It looks pretty cool, though. Again, Mortal Shell, if you want to take a look at that. Obviously, I'm not going to play the trailer here, but a Souls-like coming out from AAA developers kind of breaking out on their own could be interesting. So, yeah. Okay. I guess the big news of today that I saw a lot of people talking about is Last of Us 2 was delayed indefinitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm just looking at the tweet you tweeted here, see if there's any.
Yeah, I added
new-
another tweet to this story from Jason Schreier. He wrote the post on Kotaku about it getting delayed. He just added The Last of Us 2 was on track for May. Multiple developers told him. The primary reason for the delay is the challenge of printing, shipping, and selling physical games right now.
Yeah.
Going remote has not stopped those still working on the game, such as QA, from crunching. Hopefully, this delay helps.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess
So
like
it's making me think PS5 launch title? Like we're getting pretty close at this point,
maybe.
right?
Maybe. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's supposed
But
to.
that would probably tack on a bunch of extra work at that point, though, right?
I don't know, because if you'd think, well, here's the thing. I bet it's coming to both no matter what.
I think you're right on that.
And
yeah,
honestly, even if it did come out in May, it was probably going to be coming out on PS5 anyway. Like, I bet they're working on both those versions right now.
probably.
And I'm thinking, and as I kind of go through this thought process, there's no way it would only be a PS5 launch title because the install base on PS4 is too high. So I don't think plans are changing at all. Actually, there's going to be a PS4 version and a PS5.
Probably. Yep. So yeah, I guess like just to wrap it up there, they just say logistically they can't promise any dates, so they're not going to. Is basically the thing. So
yep, indefinitely sounds weird for me. That because like they've been putting dates before, but I guess this is really hampering some of their process. So they're just like, well, we don't know how long this is going to last, so we can't give anything out.
Yep.
Iron Man VR was also delayed. Sony announced that at the same time.
Yep.
So there's the thing, like everything's just completely fucked now because of that. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake is like weirdly out there right now because of everything that's been going on. Like Australia got it like 2 weeks early or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they basically just said like, in order for us to try to get it to everyone, we're just going to start putting it out now.
Yep.
And hope that it makes it when it needs to, kind of.
Yep. For sure. Maybe we'll end with the games with gold and stuff here. All right, so Gearbox.
I added these other ones. Yeah, Gearbox. This was another some reporting from Jason Schreier or Kotaku in relation to Gearbox is apparently not paying their developers very well. The story came out. He explains that due to the anonymous sources they've got and speaking, I think they said with like a dozen people currently / previously have worked for Gearbox, it is known that Gearbox pays well under kind of your average salary for game developers in the area or whatever. And the way they make up for this is they offer a like royalty bonus based on how well the game does. So for example, when like Borderlands 2 came out, many Gearbox workers made enough money to buy houses. That's how big these bonuses were. And the way Gearbox does the split is it's a 60-40. So 60% of the profits goes to the company, 40% gets split up in bonuses to people that are in this program with them. Like the developers.
Yeah.
So the article continued on talking about how the last few games, these bonuses are pretty small because it was things like Battleborn and Alien Colonial.
Which,
but
as we all know, did great.
Exactly. Borderlands 3, however, knocked it out of the park, and people were expecting bonuses of like 5-6 figures easily. And Randy Pitchford announced to the company, I think this was like 2 or 3 days ago, that those bonuses are going to be substantially smaller than what was promised, which is making a lot of those developers extremely bummed out considering how well it did. The article talks about how the game ended up just costing a lot more than they expected, along with the like work putting into the DLC and them having to run the studio up in Canada. He does also add that at the beginning of Borderlands 3's development, Randy Pitchford received a $12 million bonus back in 2016, which apparently did come from the 60% of the company, but that's just worth noting.
Yeah.
Yep. So some of these devs are obviously pissed since they have set up their, financial future based on what they're expecting these bonuses to be. But that just kind of sucks. Holy smokes. I did not know about that. And this was just kind of an interesting look behind the curtain a bit, in my opinion.
Sure. I fucking hate Randy Pitchford, so this isn't really... I believe it is basically where I'm going with this.
But anyways, that's a cool article. If you're interested in getting into the nitty gritty, definitely check out
Good
Jason
article.
Schreier's
Yep.
talking on. Yeah, once again, Jason Schreier easily becoming one of my favorite game reporters. He gets some of the coolest scoops. Moving on, this is an interesting update in relation. We talked last week about how a lot of companies are slowing down bandwidth and whatnot to help with the increased internet traffic during these times. Steam has announced that only games that have been played in the last 3 days will be automatically updated now to help support those bandwidth crunches. Makes sense.
Yeah.
As someone that plays my Steam games kind of on the rare account, that's a bummer for me, but like I'm not upset about it. It makes sense. You should definitely do it, especially if I'm not playing these games. No need to waste the internet
or bandwidth.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm surprised they didn't have something like that as an option to begin with.
Kind of, yeah. Because I don't want, like, if I played a game a while ago, I kind of don't want you to update 20 more gigs of it. Like, I'm not playing it.
Well, can't you turn auto updates off?
Yeah, but why?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like an on or off.
Yeah,
there's no there's not go back this far setting.
There's not a limit to like the games I played last week or whatever.
I see. Oh, I thought you can't do it on an individual basis per game. I see.
You might be able to.
You might be able to.
Why are you turning it off instead of like just uninstalling the game?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm. Well, I guess that's a question for Paul. Why don't you just uninstall that game?
I don't know, because I don't have to.
Okay, well, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, again, last 3 days are the only ones that are going to be getting updated. And last news, this was pretty early in the week. Probably some of the biggest news this week is Nintendo came out with what was going to be some of their E3 announcements. So I'm kind of curious why they didn't save this for like the video that they're probably going to do. Maybe they're not doing a video. Who knows? Anyway,
was this confirmed as real? Because I've been seeing like lots of rumors, but no official confirmation.
It was getting backed up by some pretty credible sources like Gematsu and Eurogamer. So it seems I'm taking this as it's pretty real. Gematsu has now confirmed which Eurogamer collaborated. But this is the 35th year anniversary of Mario, and it sounds like they're going to be doing kind of a Super Mario All-Stars 2 like for the 3D games. That's that part of the rumor I've been seeing less of, but what they did talk about is remasters of 64, Sunshine, Galaxy. No mention of Galaxy 2, which is weird. As well as separate remasters of. So those would be the ones that are possibly in this All Stars 2 collection. And then remakes of 3D World. And I can't remember if 3D Land was mentioned.
No.
Which that one would be harder since it actually used 3D. So I'm not sure what that would happen there. I'm definitely down to play some Galaxy again. It's been a while since I've played Mario Galaxy. I've pretty much forgotten a lot of that game. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. But having them all in the one bundle, that's pretty cool. That seems like it would be a great deal.
If it is all in a bundle, yeah, no, that would be really good. The question is again though, like, is this real? Like, it feels weird to have gotten this like a day or two after they did a direct. Like, it's more than a day or two, but like, you get what I mean, right?
For sure. Yeah. No, and like I said, this was apparently supposed to be some of their E3 plans. So why was this just brought up now? Maybe something leaked. Who knows? Also part of this, a brand new Paper Mario that should be going closer back to the RPG roots, as opposed to the last two sticker versions that people haven't really liked. I know I haven't really liked them. But this is cool. Like I said, I would love to play Galaxy again on the Switch. That'd be cool. I would hope it would include Galaxy 2 as well. Those other games I don't really need to go back to. I'm curious how they would actually like what would an actual Mario 64 remake look like? Like if they put like some work into that. That might be really cool too.
Well, here's the question. They technically already did that with Mario 64 DS. So do they just go that route again, or do they add that content back in?
Well, I'm thinking of like, what if they like just like really put some work into it? Because wasn't that kind of like a port with the new characters added?
Yes.
Yeah. What if they like really kind of put some work
So
into
you're
it?
thinking like Odyssey it up, basically.
I don't want to say change it into Odyssey. Odyssey was kind of a much bigger
Well,
thing.
I mean, like throw it in that engine. I mean, more so throw it.
Yeah. Like, what if they like put some power behind it, as opposed to just porting it? I think that might be kind of cool to see what that thing is, since it's such an old game. But time will tell. I think Sunshine is a bad game.
I like Sunshine.
I think there are bad aspects of Sunshine. I'm 50-50 right now. Take away the crappy part of Sunshine, the blue coins, and then it's not nearly as bad as people say.
There's some bad levels, yeah. I just like how the water mechanics work.
That's another thing, because it had the like the pressure sensitive button on the GameCube.
Yep.
What is that going to be like for the Switch?
I don't know.
What they're gonna do there?
Shaking a Joy-Con.
Shaking.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Oh God! Don't even joke.
Gyro controls, right? You got to move your Switch around. All right, that is it for news.
No, I forgot one thing. Nier is coming to everything. Nier Replicant, the one that was only available in Japan, so people can.
You're right. Do you have the full name of it? Because the full name is pretty good.
Oh my God, I don't. Let me look it up. If I can find it here. Also, we didn't go over the games with gold and stuff.
I wanted to do that right after.
Nier Replicant version 1.22474487139, and then it goes ... because it doesn't fit all on this search result, and I'm not clicking it because it's a YouTube video.
That's going to be one of those like remasters edition.
Yeah.
Like as an all-time great dumb remake name.
Yep. I'm excited. That'll be great. Okay, games with gold for April. Xbox One, you got Project Cars 2 and Night of Pen and Paper Bundle. And Xbox 360 is getting Fable Anniversary and Toy Box Turbos. PlayStation Plus for April. I believe it's one of the... I'm just opening it here. Yeah, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, and Dirt Rally 2.0. There you go. Those are your free games or whatever.
All right. Questions. If you want to send a question in, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. This first one from VGC Kenny. If you were going to make a list of the greatest video games of all time, what would your unconventional answers be if you have them? Don't just be unconventional for the sake of it. What? So wait,
what? Yeah, like what's unconventional for the sake of it? I like Zelda 2 more than Zelda 1. That would be on my list, and that's not for the sake of it. That's my answer. Like
that's one of your greatest games of all time.
Easily, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess is the question like, what are some like your favorite games of all time? Even
that's
if you
what I
kind
mean.
of see that they're not the greatest.
That's what I mean, right? Like.
Okay. All right.
If we were to make a list, what are some unconventional things that would be on there?
Right. So the kind of like that the industry hasn't decided these are like the greatest, but we really like. I mean, no one's going to say Asura's Wrath is one of the greatest.
No.
Probably not.
But I really like that one.
Yeah.
What about you, John?
See, I don't know, because I don't know what would be considered unconventional, just like you guys said. Like,
yeah.
My problem is when I think of games that I like, they're all pretty well-liked games.
Sure.
You like 99 Nights a lot.
Why do you keep bringing that up?
Yeah, why do you? That's so weird.
That was just the first thing that popped into my head.
Oh, okay. What's throwing me off is don't be unconventional for the sake of it. It's like, what? Why would I be unconventional for the sake of it?
Because we're clearly all hipsters.
I guess so, right?
I don't think most people would say Ghost Trick is, but the hard one with Ghost Trick is everyone who has played it really holds that in like high regard. The problem is just no one's really played that game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking of all the like kind of smaller games that like should be up there that no one's talking about. Like 999. That game's fantastic. No one's talking about that. It's like no one's gonna put that up beside Ocarina of Time, for example.
Right. This question's pretty difficult.
Well, if there's nothing else, Paul, do you want to take the next question?
Sure. Lineback says, what dialogue and or moments in video games do you remember feeling very real? As in stuff you found yourself relating to a lot. Oh my god.
Gone Home. That one felt pretty real to me. And then similarly is Night in the Woods. That one was just written like so like real and well. That one was pretty relatable as well.
Probably something recently in Sea of Solitude. I don't remember what though. Like I don't have a line ready or anything.
Sure. I mean, I don't have lines either. I'm kind of thinking of the game itself and moments or.
No, there is definitely a moment. The part in Celeste where you're having a panic attack and you have to focus on breathing with the
feather.
The feather. Easily one of the most real moments ever in a video game.
Okay. Nice. Or, well, I mean, not nice.
Well, yeah, no, terrible.
Good answer.
Like,
good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
I honestly can't think of anything. I know that there's been moments like that. I can think of parts where just like the intensity of the performance or stuff like that, like felt cool.
Yeah.
Like it felt like.
We'll say that. Like I don't know.
The hatred. Like I like the Andrew Ryan speech from BioShock because it's just the raw intensity and the fierceness of it all is just like kind of just like whoa. Like not many games are doing that at that point. But I can't think of anything really that felt too real aside from like glib remarks in certain games.
Yeah. It's usually just a quip or whatever that you're like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a couple ways you can interpret like very real. I mean, there's kind of the literal sense of is this like real life? But then I think another one is like, is this written kind of in universe enough where it feels like, oh yeah, they would say they definitely would like this is like fire on all cylinders. They've kind of they've put everything together nicely, and that feels like a real character kind of. And I think the ones you guys were hitting at is more the latter. So I think that totally counts.
Sure.
John, do you want to read this next one?
Next was from Rasterman. How are you people keeping fit during this lockdown? Do you have an exercise routine, play a fitness game, or do something else? I'm assuming you are not able to go outside, not even for a quick run, and gyms are closed like over here.
You can go
outside. The only reason we're not really going outside is because it's snowing.
Yeah, that's true. It snowed yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it snowed today too, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but like, no, like you can go outside. Just gotta kind of keep your distance, people.
Yeah, you guys aren't on a lockdown, right?
No, we're not on a lockdown. No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, so we're on a lockdown. We can still go outside though. They just don't want people like grouping up for the most part.
And like you can go in your yard and like you can go outside. Like you just can't do the things that people do, like go to Costco and all cuddle together.
Well, no, you can do that, and it's weird when people are going near you at Costco. But yeah, and they keep having to close down more stuff like parks and beaches around here because people keep hanging out together for some reason because they're idiots. I keep going to a park. There's a track near my house. It has like some pull-up bars and dip bars, so it has a small fitness park. So we've been going there daily and exercising and wiping down any of the stuff we touch with like Lysol wipes just in case. And also we don't want to, spread anything as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing on the daily.
Yeah. We go for walks. Like little bit of yoga to stretch out my bad like knee and stuff. So,
Nice.
But I mean, that's
Johnny playing
nothing
Ring
new.
Fit.
I should be. I keep meaning to, basically.
That's a good.
Are you
answer,
selling it on
yeah.
eBay for like a 3 times markup?
God, that markup is ridiculous. Just
Wait, what's it
it's
marked up
so
to?
insane.
Hold on.
You can't get a Ring Fit for like under $200.
What?
Yeah.
This has been like a solid month of this. Ring Fits have been crazy. Nintendo Switches similarly also getting very hard to find and getting marked up now.
$150. Damn. That markup. 225. 260. Holy shit.
Yep. Hebrew Lantern writes, "What's the biggest F up that you did at work?"
I mean, I missed a couple deadlines before, but like they're not huge when you're doing an office. It's not really that big of a deal.
Yep.
I can tell you one a coworker did. He dropped a piece of equipment that was worth $5 million for an oil rig and broke it.
Wow.
That was really bad. Yeah.
I was gonna say I screwed up recording a backup in the database. That's about it. Like that's tame in comparison.
Yeah, I can't think of anything like lately. Because
Mhm.
you kind of get to the point where it's like, no, this is a job. I need to like not screw things up. But like when
Yeah.
I was like a teen working, I want to say like I think there was definitely a time at EB Games where it was one of the first times I had to do like the cash register at the end of the night or something, and I like screwed that up. And there was like some like money unaccounted for, and I was just like, I'm sorry to our. It wasn't you, John. It was a different manager at the time. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, and he was like, whatever. I mean, it happens. It wasn't that much anyway.
And now they're going bankrupt. Look
yeah,
what
it was
you
all because
did.
of that, like
Yep.
the $20 or whatever it was.
You're a hero. Yeah. I think most of like big fuck ups would be something small and clerical like that usually.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, last question from Lucas. Is there anything else each of you collect besides video games? For instance, some genre of cards, movies, figurine, toys, etc. This is easy for me. No, I do not.
Sort of got into model kit building a little bit again.
Okay,
That'd probably be
cool.
the next closest
Sure.
I have.
That's cool.
I don't like collect, like I don't hang on to them, but I like finding weird Japanese Kit Kats and taking a picture of them.
Yeah, that I knew. Yep.
Because like I don't really even eat them. I just like finding what's a weird flavor I haven't like I guess held in my hand and photoed yet. That's probably it.
Yeah, I used to collect cards.
I still
as a
do.
kid. Do you? Okay.
What kind of cards?
Yeah.
What
recently
Like
Magic
playing
the
cards.
Gathering, but like
a deck of 52 cards?
I collect decks of playing cards. I haven't really done
Yeah.
that lately, but
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that I knew. I think we've gotten a question similar to this.
Yeah.
I have almost a full collection of Cards Against Humanity cards. So at this point, when they come out with a new pack, I just get it because like why stop?
Yeah.
And I like
You're
supporting
part of the
that company.
machine.
That company does some cool stuff. I'm happy to give them $5 to $10 every couple months for sure.
Yep. He has more to his question here. Why aren't there more video game soundtracks available to purchase or obtain legally? I know a lot have been released on vinyl in the past 5 years. We get certain franchises, Zelda/Final Fantasy available, but I don't see why every video game soundtrack is not sold at least digitally. So in a lot of cases, when you buy like specifically PC digital games, you can usually get a deluxe version with the soundtrack. Has been like a pretty big one, mainly because Steam has been trying to push their weird media player, even though nobody uses it.
I actually don't know why they don't
that's
just
pretty much
always do that because they clearly have
They have it.
the files. Yeah. They're uploading the game digitally. Like,
Yep, they should do it.
I think it depends. Some companies are just like, I'm going to use Nintendo for an example. Like, they don't have a service that could keep the soundtrack on, and I'm sure putting their shit on Spotify or like anything like that costs. So they probably just don't think it's worth the work.
Do you need a specific license to sell the music separately when it's not part of the video game?
Maybe if it's not your music, like if they had
yeah.
licensed ones, they would need to license it for that. But like if it was something like Nintendo where they're doing all the music themselves, they could put it wherever they want.
No, I'm thinking a lot of companies obviously outsource that stuff, right? Like especially smaller companies, not like Nintendo.
Well, they would outsource it, but just for them, right? Like, hey, we need you to make.
It
some
doesn't
music
matter
for
though. Yeah, they probably pay them a contract based on we're using it for this and not for distribution rights, right?
Like, yeah, maybe I don't know enough of it. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
It depends, essentially.
Yeah, like I think indies would probably get fucked on that for sure. Although I think a lot of indies usually will do their own because they can't afford to pay anybody to do that. I don't know. They should do it though if they're able to.
All right, that's going to do it for questions this week. If you have a question for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Animal Crossing.
Control DLC.
Yep, mine is also Animal Crossing.
Nice.
All right, if you haven't listened to it yet, our Murder by Numbers episode of TDP Plus is live, so go check that out if you're a patron. If you're not, maybe become a patron and check out that episode. It was a pretty good one. Yeah. We've also figured out for April, our game is going to be Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. Thank you to whoever submitted this. This was a user-submitted game. So
yeah, so none of us actually did this one.
Yep. So we'll be playing through that this month, and we'll talk about it at the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you're an Animal Crossing fan, check out our Discord channel. I put a Animal Crossing channel there so we can share turnip prices and stuff like that and trade items and whatnot. So jump in there to help me get more profit. And vice versa. I will help you, of course.
Of course.
All right, that'll do it. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.